Astrology isn't just about signs and symbols. It's a tool for navigating real life. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Alisa. I'm your host, Alisa Dixon, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. We've officially made it through eclipse season. The Aries full moon on Monday wrapped it up because it's the first lunation after the eclipses, and that marks the close of that intense energetic cycle. Finally, the air feels lighter. For me, eclipse season always brings this laser-like focus, almost like tunnel vision, where the universe highlights certain areas of life and says, pay attention here and don't do anything else. And this one especially felt like a cosmic to-do list. Fitting, since we had a Virgo eclipse in the mix. Everything felt urgent. Everything felt like it needed fixing or fine-tuning right now. And there was a lot of stress. And while that energy can be productive, it's also exhausting. Now that the dust is settling, I feel like I can finally breathe again, like I can come back to myself. And with that, we can shift our attention to something softer, something beautiful, our girl, Venus. Venus is the planet that rules love, beauty, joy, and connection. All the things that make life feel good. And she rules two signs in the zodiac, Taurus and Libra, arguably the two most beautiful times of the year. Taurus season is springtime. That's when the flowers are blooming, warmth is returning. We get the feeling of the sun on our skin after winter. Venus in Taurus loves the simple, tangible beauty of life. Soft blankets, delicious food, physical comfort. Libra season, though, the one we're in now, is Venus in her social, relational element. This is the Venus who wants harmony, connection, and aesthetic flow. The golden hour gatherings, the laughter across the table, the weddings and the weekend getaways that fill your heart and your calendar. It's no coincidence that October is one of the most popular months for weddings. Venus is calling the shots right now, and she loves to bring people together. That's why last week I shared a date night by sign guide, a playful nod to the Libra side of Venus, and how this energy shows up in relationships. I'll link that episode in the show notes in case you missed it. Fun way to plan a date night. But here's the interesting twist. Even though we've been in Libra season for over 2 weeks now, it hasn't felt fully Libra yet. That's because Venus, the ruler of Libra, has been traveling through Virgo. And when a sign's ruler is in another sign, it changes the flavor of the whole season. So even though the sun has been in Libra, we've still felt that Virgo undertone, the urge to fix, refine, organize, and perfect before we allow ourselves to fully enjoy. Venus in Virgo means well. She's thoughtful, devoted, and sincere. But she wants things to be both beautiful and useful. She shows love through care, effort, and attention to detail. But when that energy gets out of balance, it can start to feel like nothing is ever good enough. Like you can't fully enjoy what you've created because your mind keeps scanning for flaws. And that's exactly where I found myself lately. A few months ago, I started a crochet project. I wanted to make myself a sweater to wear this fall. I chose a simple cardigan pattern, cozy, fun, creative, or at least it was supposed to be. But as I got close to the end, when it was time to seam everything together, that Venus and Virgo voice kicked in. I kept fussing with every little detail. This stitch was off. That row wasn't straight. The sleeves looked a little too long. And I kept putting off finishing it because I was afraid it wouldn't look just right in the end. Finally, last week, I was over it. I was ready to move on with my life. I was tired of looking at all those unfinished pieces, and I just decided to do it. So I did. And guess what? It's not perfect, but it's also great. It's the first thing I've ever made that I'll actually wear. I put it on, and my daughter Lily said, "Mom, that's so cool. I want to make a sweater too." My finished but imperfect project inspired her to create. And as it turns out, the timing couldn't have been more perfect. Because right then, as I was letting go of my need for perfection, Venus was making her annual conjunction with the South Node. This happens every year, but in a different part of the sky. Venus with the South Node is always about release. It's a cosmic invitation to let go of whatever is holding us back from feeling love, joy, or creativity. Last year, this happened in Libra. And interestingly, that was the very first astrological aspect that I ever talked about. When I was guest podcasting on the Fun Astrology podcast with Thomas Miller, Thomas had invited me onto his show and he said, pick an aspect that you think would be interesting to talk about. And this was the one I chose. So it's kind of funny. This one had my eye anyway to talk about, but then in light of my crochet project, it just felt like the perfect story. So last year, the story was about releasing relationship patterns that no longer served us because this conjunction happened in Libra. Maybe patterns that blocked our ability to truly connect with other people in relationship. This year, Venus met the South Node in Virgo. And what needed to be released was the perfectionism that stands in the way of joy. I even peeked ahead. Next year, we'll have one more Virgo release. And then in 2027, Venus will meet the South Node in Leo. That's one of my favorite things about astrology. These patterns repeat, but in different signs and in different areas of our lives. Each cycle invites us to let go of something new, a different layer of whatever is keeping us from love, creativity, or joy, right on time for our soul's evolution in that area of our chart. As I was agonizing over every tiny detail of this sweater, completely focused on making this cardigan perfect, I had no idea that my daughter was watching me and feeling inspired to create something of her own. How beautiful is that? Now, she and I are both working on new crochet sweaters, each of us choosing our own yarn, our own colors, and our own pace, and doing it together. She's sitting beside me, her own project in her lap, her own joy in the making. And as we're crocheting side by side, I can feel Venus smiling, because that is Venus in Libra energy, doing something beautiful together. Finding connection through the creative process, not worrying about the details, but being present in the experience. And here's the real revelation. I realized how tightly I'd been holding on to that Virgo perfection and how, without meaning to, it's been stealing the joy from things that used to make me happy. Lily doesn't care if her stitches are perfect. She just wants to make something, to try, to play, to enjoy, and to do it together. And I think that's beautiful because it's such a reflection of where we are astrologically. We are stepping out of Virgo's analytical mind and back into Libra's open heart. So if you've been stuck in your head, worrying, planning, overcorrecting, this is your moment to breathe again, to trust that love and beauty don't need perfect timing. They just need presence. Wherever this Venus-South Node conjunction landed in your chart, look for what was ready to be released. It might be a mindset, a habit, a belief that joy has to be earned, perhaps. Let it go. Let yourself feel the beauty of being in progress. Not finished, not flawless, just becoming. Because that's what Venus really wants, for us to love ourselves right where we are. To remember that beauty doesn't live in perfect things. It lives in living things, in the way we show up for one another, in the way we create, connect, and care, in the way we love, even when it's messy. So this week, let's let go of perfect and lean into beautiful instead. If you'd like to explore how Venus is showing up in your own chart, what you might be ready to release, or where love and creativity are asking for more space, visit me at www.astrologywithalisa.com and book a personal reading. And as Venus moves into Libra next week, I hope you'll take a moment to notice what's shifting for you. What's starting to feel a little lighter, a little easier, a little more beautiful? If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean so much if you'd follow the show, share it with a friend, or leave me a quick review. Those small actions help more people find Astrology with Alisa and help our little astrology community keep growing. Thank you so much for listening and for letting me share this space with you week after week. Take care, and I'll see you next time.